Chain wallet? Why not? Spike jacket? Sure. Brass knuckles? Whatever.
What's going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of The Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. This week, as you can see in the gallery, I haven't had a person on with face paint in maybe a long time. I don't know if I ever have, actually, in corpse paint. The revolutionary force in corpse entertainment is the Necrosexual. How's it going?
Hello. I have to correct you. It's the Necrosexual.
Oh,
shit.
Yes, I was wrong with that.
Yeah.
So what's going on? How before we get started, like, how are things? How are things in the Necrosexual life?
Things are grim, as always. You know, it's another day in purgatory, and I just have to take a second to say that the Necrosexual's lair is looking a little bit scarce compared to your office. I got to get my accoutrements in order with all the candles and, you know, active.
Yeah.
I got some bases hanging up. I don't have the Gene Simmons base yet because I feel like that would invite a lawsuit. But much respect to your interior design.
Thank you. I've you know, it constantly changes. You know, I get nerd stuff here and there, and you've got to constantly get the rotation of nerdery going on. You know, sometimes there'll be Admiral Kirk down here. There's an Orko. There might be some Skeletors behind me. You know, so yeah, we've got all kinds of things up here. So yeah, but yeah, it does take some time, you know, to get to get the accoutrement out there and displayed and you know, but hey, as long as you're doing the thing and you know, you're living the dream, I guess you could say, then it's all good.
Yeah, it really ties the tune together, and any serious black metal artist knows the trials and tribulations of getting all the displays and accoutrements situated, whether it's on stage or just for your, you know, basement photo shoot ritual. So, you know, game recognizes game.
For sure. So, the basement photo shoot ritual, as you said, that's something that I think we all go through as a musician. So when it comes to the design for the gig, for everything, are you the driving force behind everything? Are you the only person involved? Tell everybody in Metal Forge Land about the Necrosexual.
Yeah, I'm like the one-man AV department, art direction, musician, video editor, crew wrangler. So yeah, it's very much a one-man theater of madness. Of course, there have been some collaborators on the way. My one good friend Chris Kuntz, he's done some really cool photo shoots with me in the past involving steak and my genitals. And also, you know, Dottie Riot, she's a burlesque performer that I know better than most. So she's also helped with the styling and the placement, because sometimes you need an outside set of eyes.
For sure. You really do need an outside set of eyes. I know exactly what you're talking about with, you know, being kind of like a one-man AV kind of deal as well. You know, running visuals for a couple of different bands is really interesting and fun. But yeah, you do need that outside set of eyes to sit there and say, "Hey, what do you think about this? Is it?" Usually, if you think it's too much, it might be.
Yeah, or it's, you know, more,
or it's just far not enough.
Yes, exactly. I feel like it's always do a little bit more, just keep elevating. So I think that's been very much part of the Necrosexual recipe over the years. And that certainly bleeds into the visual aspect of things.
Definitely. So when did you originally start this, and did you ever think that it would go as far as it has?
So I've been doing this, if you could believe it, since 2011. So
right,
it's been a while. I'm still living the scream. I'm still going through the basement ritual photo sessions. It's certainly not a phase I'm going through.
It's not a phase, Mom.
Yeah, you hear that? Who's a loser now? Yeah, it's something that, in hindsight, I would have perhaps taken it more seriously more earlier on. There were a lot of videos I did that got a lot of eyes on the internet for whatever that's worth. But it's been a learning process, and I think that it's also you could see an evolution over the years. And sometimes it's not the destination; it's the journey, because we all end up in the same final destination, dead. So it's about how you get to that point in time.
Sure. No, you're absolutely right with that. So you said that there would have been some things that you would have changed going on. Obviously, as the prophet Mustaine said, hindsight was always 2020.
Yeah.
And so with that, if you were to do something different now that you had done, what would it have been?
I just would have invested in myself a little bit more and put more thought and effort into like the AV thing, the costuming, the overall presentation. I mean, you can see the videos from back in the day. I still edited them, and I'm really proud of that work and how it comes across. I think that they still are funny and telling. As a matter of fact, with a lot of my early videos, they were doing interviews with sort of like you, but they were in person, and a lot of them are dead now. LG from Entombed, Steve
Sure.
Grimmett from Grim Reaper. We did a whole studio set called the Necrosexual's Lair, so I'm really proud of that stuff too. But yeah, I think I would have just maybe taken myself more seriously at not taking myself seriously, and just made the extra effort towards just more is more with everything. But you learn along the way too. So I'm grateful for the journey, all the pain and suffering.
That's very true. You do learn so much along the way. And, I think the interesting thing is I think we often look at where we are versus how we were. And yeah, the things that we would have done now might not have necessarily been the things that we would have done then, but there's always that possibility. But I think the life experience, that journey, as you'd said, is part of that. And it's like, for me, I'm a progressionist when it comes to things in that situation, like especially in music, like album progression. I don't think you could have got to say the Black Album without having Justice in the way. Like they couldn't have went from master to that, even with Cliff.
Absolutely, it's
So
yeah.
I kind of look at those moments in my life where I've edited those videos as well, as like you're talking about, and say how I would have done something differently then, or I would have shot this differently. And it's just like, now I get it and say, it's like, okay, so now I am shooting these videos like this. And, like, for example, I remember going from just a audio show only to video both. And I haven't looked back since. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying there.
Yeah, and it's not easy. So respect to you for doing this every Tuesday, keeping the forge burning.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's the thing of, how the gig goes. You just reach out when you can and when schedules dictate. I mean, because this has been you'd sent me this email back in December, and I was looking back in my email. I was like, oh, this was only like a month or two ago, wasn't it? And then I was like, oh shit, this was December. It's like, where has the time gone?
Right.
Seriously.
Time flies when you're in hell, but better late than never. So thank you.
For sure. So what are we promoting this cycle here? You have a new album that has come out. You just put out a newer music video
Yeah.
within
So
the last few months.
yeah, the new album. Well, it's not that new, but 2026. It's called Road to Rubble. I have the original artwork by Scott R. Johnston here.
Hell yes.
Yeah, it's hand painted on canvas. Priceless artifact. So yeah, that was a really Ambitious album. I think it's the finest Necrosexual album to date, which the bar might be low, but there were a lot of blood, sweat, and beers that went into it. And you can also watch the music video, which is an homage to In Excess Guns in the Sky, called Nocturnal Ignition on YouTube, and hope you dig it.
Absolutely. And I dig the video because I'm sitting there watching it and it's like coming out of doors and and just every door is a new line, and it's almost as if every day every line is a new beginning. Something's going on every moment of every day somewhere, and everything that you experience is, you know, it's going to be wildly different from one moment to the next.
Yes, profound.
And I think that video captures that extremely well.
Yeah, thank you. You know, it was. I really dug the In Excess video, and I think with metal, it's important to find influences outside of metal, so you don't have just like recessive traits repeating themselves. There's already a lot of kind of like an echo chamber effect. And I dug the In Excess thing, and from a production standpoint, again, as the guy that kind of has to set everything up, I really enjoyed that it was like one shoot, one location, one shot. You just had to repeat it a bunch. It was actually really smooth to film and really easy for me to edit. So from a latency efficient standpoint, I also enjoy that.
And that is actually it's a great idea, really, because the location was great. And we're going to watch the video later in the episode, but like I said, the location was great because it almost has this dive bar kind of feel to it, but almost in like a dive bar in an old Victorian mansion almost.
Yeah, that if I could peel away the curtain a little bit, I have to give respect where it's due. So that was the shotgun house of Doug from Author and Punisher and A Life Once Lost. So he's got this really funky shotgun house, and I was in it one time, and I was like, dude, this would be great for a music video. So I asked him. He was cool with us invading it for 3 hours while he was working at the bar, and
Dude, that's
really
amazing.
tied the tune together. But yeah, it just lends itself to the audiovisual experience.
Hell yeah. And the crew was pretty small on there. It looked like, you had the four, and then the security guard, the other guitar player, just doing some cool stuff as you were walking through. And uh it's always nice when you can get people involved. I mean, whether or not you have to pay or anything like that, or just people believe in it enough that you can have nice things.
Yeah, and it's difficult too because when you're organizing shoots, sometimes all it takes is one or two people to not be able to attend, and it all goes to hell. But luckily, I keep professional
Yep.
company. Sleazy but professional company. So everybody brought the right game, had the looks dialed up to 11, and we had a real good time to seal the memory on film.
Definitely. So the album, let's talk about it.
Let's talk.
What went into How long and what went into the creation of?
Yeah, a lot, a lot of blood, sweat, and beers, as I say. But yeah,
Yeah.
this was my first full length album since 2018. So it's been a minute. There have been EPs, several comic books, several burlesque festival performances from in between. But I started kind of recording and demoing the songs that were on Road to Rubble back in 2020, 2021, and yeah, it took about almost 3 years to record it. There was like one session with a drummer that was entirely scrapped. It wasn't up to par, so that was certainly an eye-opening experience to travel all that way and think that you're ready and then throw it all in the trash. But it was an example of not settling for good enough. You have to aim for perfection. So I'm happy that with this album, everything has been, rigorously tested to meet the standards of Necrosexual's approval.
Definitely. And listen, I heard it through the YouTube link that you had sent to me, and I'm just sitting there and I put it on, and there's nothing like getting an album that you can just get immediately immersed and lost in.
No, well, thank you.
And I think this is one of those albums, and I tend to curate the Metal Forge, and a lot of people hear me talk about this. And when albums do that, and when you have to go back and re-listen to things, and there's so many call outs, but so much originality involved in the same respect. I cannot like commend you enough for stuff like that, because I hear Athenar, I hear King Diamond, but it's you. And but like, it was like, it makes me wonder, it's like, did they do a guest spot? It's like, come on. But no, but it's you. And the writing is top notch. I mean, the musicality is top notch. It's exactly what it needs to be.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. I mean, it's very flattering, so of course I'm going to agree with you. But yeah, I think across the board, it's my influences are old school, definitely in the '80s, Venom, Celtic Frost, Merciful Fate, Nasty Savage, Exodus, but also like black metal, also like Van Halen, Motley Crue, and I've never been somebody that's just wanted to sound like a tribute to a specific band. I think there's plenty of
Sure.
that. There's plenty of that in heavy metal across the genres. Some bands are quite popular, so you know, do you? But I think that it pays homage to all the music that I dig without sounding like too much like a specific thing. It's got the necrosexual sauce that connects it all together.
It does. And I think that's the staple. I think that is exactly the method to the madness
Yes, much
for
madness.
anybody out there, whether or not, you're influenced by Venom and Slayer, and you play this amalgamate of the two or whatever, and with a little Judas Priest thrown in for good measure. Let's just mention that through those three bands. But like, you still have to have that fluidity of your entity as well.
Yes, and I have to say as well, with the recording of that album, it was mostly done DIY in my own lair in this room that I'm in. So the bass was done here, the guitars were all recorded from home. I did all the keyboards from home, vocals and drums we did in studio. Since then, I invested in a vocal microphone so I can do vocals here and redo them as much as I want. So it's also been a really ambitious project of do-it-yourself recording, and I think that I feel more confident with whatever comes next.
For sure. And, that's the thing. I've been in this game for a little bit, and being from a standpoint of recording on cassette tape in the 90s, and, late 90s, before, we were doing like these, having like digital recorders and stuff like that. And then now ultimately to everything that's computerized, everything that you can do, you can remodel on an ant on a PC or a Mac or whatever. And the the quality is there if you put in the work and time and effort and you want it to be. The quality is there. But that's the thing, it's whatever you're trying to reach. you know don't agonize over it. I mean, because I think the more people agonize over the sound, in quotation marks, that more, what is the saying, more is lost from indecision than wrong decision.
Yes, or what is it? Great is the enemy of good.
Sure.
Or perfection
Yeah.
is the enemy of greatness, or something like that. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of other things to be agonizing over playing in a band, just due to the lifestyle of trying to play original heavy metal music. But I agree. Some certain magic in, I think, analog stuff, or sometimes the less options you have, the more creative you get to problem
Hmm.
solve. Uh, that's why I still use old school analog keyboards. My guitarist Anthony, he has a very specific sound with his rig, so that's been able to kind of like lend itself to the guitar solos and stuff like that. But it's like we kind of know what the sauce is, so it would just be sort of like driving myself nuts to have like 1,000 amp modeler plugins or like MIDI patches. So
Sure.
yeah,
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, sometimes that is the thing. And I always wanted to take that and be able to go to a place and record. Say, for example, like the like bands did back in the day. They went and rented places and made makeshift studios in houses and stuff like that. I've always thought that was a great idea, and now it's never been easier. And uh, for the most part, never been easier. But yeah, having so many options can be a detriment as well. I do agree with that. Sometimes keeping it as old school as getting in a room and just doing it is definitely where it can be too.
yeah, it's still on my bucket list as well. Just like renting out a cabin in the woods or some idyllic cottage that's maybe a little bit haunted or something with like my little Scarlet. So you got one. It's like a tape recorder for this age that we live in.
Yes, it is.
Guitar. If not actually recording the whole album, at least writing the whole album, because there's like the writing and there's the recording. Obviously it would be great to have just thousands of disposable dollars to like rent out a place and record an album like Black Sabbath as well. So
for sure, and actually bring somebody in like that, like they did like with Chris Taniorides and yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That would
get a
have been
cocaine budget.
that's still a bucket list thing to do as well, is to bring, even if it's bringing in a friend that you respect their work.
Yeah, somebody on the ones and twos.
Yeah, exactly. Like nothing like taking a band vacation, I guess.
Yeah, besides going on tour, but that's like
Well, yeah,
like a working
that's
vacation.
kind of
Yeah,
that's a working vacation.
yeah.
So speaking of touring and shows and stuff like that, what does 2026 show for the Necrosexual on the road?
Yeah, it's sort of a quiet year the way it worked out. But I do have a show that's about to be announced. I guess I'll make the announcement now. It's on September 11th in Philadelphia with Wield and Woe, medieval castle metal from the West Coast, recently relocated to Maine, as well as Slaughter Sun and Blasphemous in Philadelphia. So that'll be my extremely belated album release party show. And from there, we'll just kind of see what comes. I want to definitely hit the road again, tour more. It was one of those things where I was like, once they get this new album out, I'm going to focus on playing shows. And now it's like 6 months after the album's released, and I'm like, oh, I got to like start playing shows. So
yeah, you gotta hustle sometimes, and it's hard, and I think a lot of people, when they don't realize the work that goes into it for booking in a band. So I mean, sometimes that it is very hard, because even today, where the time has changed, you used to be able to call a place or drop off a demo and call a place, and they'd say, yeah, I can put you in for the 17th. And it's like a Tuesday at 9:00. But when you're like 17, you'll take it.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
It's like, oh, and we get a free tab at the coffee shop. Oh, okay, cool. And yeah, and even today, now it's like not getting return emails.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I live in Philadelphia, so I think sometimes when you're in a bigger city, it's even harder because there's so much competition, like 6 months out, and only so many small to mid, small cap to mid level rock and roll venues that are available. And yeah, I've talked to people in other cities. We all cry the same tears, but it's a labor. A labor of mania and I guess love.
It really is. And the thing to me about it is like you said, there's only so many mid caps and small caps and stuff like that as well, with so much competition, especially in a bigger city. But there is that finite window of circle back around with me. We're not booking that right now. And you've got to hit that right sweet spot to hit that circle back, or it's too late and that they're already booking into like January of the next year.
Yes. Yeah, it's tough.
And,
You don't want to be a
and
punisher, but sometimes you just have to punish.
yes, yeah, and you don't want to be a pest, but sometimes sending the biweekly follow up email is worth it.
Yes. Persistence.
It's the key. It really ties the tomb together, as you
Right?
said earlier.
Yeah, get one.
Yeah, for sure. I dig that because I'm a huge Lebowski fan
Yeah.
as well. So, it really ties the room together.
Yeah,
And
real ones know.
so getting into some other stuff for 2026, obviously, hopefully we get some more shows. Are we going to be doing any more video releases?
Yeah, I would love to do that. I haven't scheduled one, but that's also on my to-do list. I really like that song on the album Kiss the Knife, so I feel like that would be a good music video. And I actually have a new camcorder for my heavy metal day job, so it's like I gotta put it to proper use. So that is on the agenda at some point. Thank you for holding me accountable to get my ass in order. And also, this is also, this might be a little bit farther out on the wish list, but I love old media, physical media, VHS as you have. And at some point, between all my interviews over the years and music videos, I have like three music videos, four, a lot of video interviews, a lot of other silly stuff, like kind of making a compilation, like limited edition VHS cassette.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, just like the sort of thing you watch in your friend's basement when you're a
Yeah.
teenager. And
Who still has you get it and take it over to the friend's house who still has the VCR. I was about to say VHS player, but the VCR,
like,
you got to have the recorder as well.
Yeah, you record over the footage of their childbirth and
oh yeah.
Maybe some porn, some old porn is on there too. Just the tape. It's like the forever soup of VHS re-recording.
Exactly. And that's so cool that you mentioned that because I've had that same kind of idea as well about releasing a limited run VHS, especially with the way retro media has come back so prominently in the independent metal world over the last decade, from going back to releasing vinyl, going back to releasing cassettes again, and so many other things. It's like, why not put something out on VHS? Belushi Speedball puts things out on video game cartridges for what it's worth,
Yeah, and then you could do the speed off the cartridge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could.
It's funny. You have, sorry to cut you off. You have that, I see a Soulgrinder sticker in the background, and I had played, or Soulgrinder, it looks like a Soulgrinder flyer.
Yes, it is a set list.
Yeah, so I did a show with Soulgrinder and Solicitor in 2022 or 23 in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it was this week, I'm sure.
Yeah. And it was like their tour from hell. They they had a tour from hell, wrought with misfortune and transmissions dying, but they both made the show. And then we ended up having Sonny from Hate 5-6 filmed it, so there's like also footage of it immortalized by Sonny, and then also oh man, his name is escaping me, but another young lad and his dad filmed it. So we got two different video transmissions of this concert on the internet,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, good people, good times, high times.
Amazing people. And it's so awesome because I had just shared on Instagram today actually that set list is from that tour.
Yes.
It actually, because I booked them in Louisville on that tour.
Yes.
And my band couldn't play. That was an interesting time because we had I had Solicitor and Soulgrinder here on a Wednesday, and I had Coat Hanger Abortion here on a Friday.
Oh, my grandma loved Coat Hanger Abortion. I should have known. Should have let her know.
Oh yeah, fucking, they're great people.
Yeah.
So awesome. Let's get into some general questions about you as a person, the
Yeah.
necrosexual as a person.
Long walks on the beach and boxed wine. You know.
Boxed wine is, hey, there is nothing wrong with that. I mean, when you grow up on things like Boone's Farm
Mm,
and like $3 wine,
yeah.
$10 box wine
Yeah. three
can
dollars
be
make
some
you holler.
pretty now Mad Dog 2020
Yeah.
on the other hand. Um have you ever given a present to somebody that they were just like, what? And didn't like it?
Oh man, probably. I'm sure I have. I don't know if they were obvious about it. And probably all the people I gave Necrosexual albums to, they were like, "Oh, thanks." Actually, you know what? I'll tell you. I did this thing for Metal Sucks. It's also online. It was one of the few times I got paid by Metal Sucks to contribute. But it was they were like, "Hey, do you want to go interview Corey Taylor from Stone Sour?" I'm like, "Well, not really, but I mean, it's sure." It was in Butler, Pennsylvania, or no, it was out in like the Zippo factory land, like the farthest 6 hour drive on the other end of the state. Couldn't have been any farther. And Jose Mangan was there. It was like, "Hey, what's up, dude? Here's a CD for your show." And he's like, "Oh, cool, man." He probably just fucking threw it away immediately after. But yeah, that was a fun hanging with the Mangan for a wonderful couple days in Zippo Lighter Factory with Stone Sour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh have you ever test driven a car you couldn't afford?
Um. No. No. I don't think so. I mean, unless you count like renting Chrysler minivans for when you're on tour, that sort of counts.
That's probably what I would go with as well. You know,
Then yes, many times, yeah.
hey, I swear by the Chrysler.
Yeah,
I really
Pacifico.
do. The Chrysler minivans,
Yeah.
the Dodge minivans. I have knock on wood. I have yet to have a problem with any of them that I have taken, except for one that I have owned,
Okay. Yeah.
and that
Well,
was after putting 3,000 miles on it.
right. That's why you just rent them for the tour, and then let
Yep,
it be somebody else's problem. But there are
yep,
definitely
and
some
let it be
times,
somebody else's problem.
definitely some times on the road where it's like, oh, this is how the other side lives. This is leather seats, and oh, look at this. So yeah, I suppose that would count then.
For sure, for sure. Uh, what is your blessing in disguise?
Ask my wife.
Okay. Yep, yep. Um, if money did equate happiness and you could attach a dollar sign to it, what would it be?
I feel like, I mean, of course, everyone would want $1 million or something, but it's like, might as well be asking a genie for three wishes. So I would say it would be about $5,000 because then I could buy a Rickenbacker 5 string and have a little bit left over. Just to, just because anybody would be like, $1 million, 10 hundred. Just say a number that's so big it kind of loses its sense of scale. So I'll say
Sure.
uh, enough money to buy a really sick Ricken, maybe $10,000 because then I can get a Rickenbacker 5 string and then like an Ampeg SVT, like the
Yeah.
quintessential
The
Ampeg.
refrigerator cab and
Right.
the tube head. Yeah.
And then I will never take it out for tours or shows because it's too expensive and too heavy to take upstairs. But at least I could have it, and tie the house together, tie the room together.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would be the whole thing too of, what a studio tool to have.
Yes,
Getting that tone.
right. Because I need another guitar. You can't have too many guitars. You got to have.
Oh hell no. I think there's 12 in this room.
Yeah,
So
I
absolutely. And that's not including the ones that are in cases.
you got to have
So
one for every month of the year. And then if you want to get really witchy about it, 13, because there should originally be 13 months in the year.
sure.
And then you got one you can showcase every month, the guitar of the month.
Well, there is that, but there's also, the difference in, okay, well, the Spectre is played with this certain band, and the Fender is played by this with this certain band,
Right.
and the Axe is played with a certain band.
Yes.
So it gets the feel down, and if I'm into if I'm playing in the Doom band, I've got to play the SG.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it all kind of works out.
My first big boy bass was a Spectre when I was like 14 years old, and I still have it. So
Hell yeah.
Spectre.
What run of Spectre?
It was the Europe series,
Okay, cool.
made in the Czech Republic. So they're kind of rare, and
Yeah.
it actually got stolen from my apartment in like 2010, and I ended up tracking it down and getting it back. So it's never leaving my possession again.
Dude, that is amazing, and I'm so glad to hear you got it back.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Check your
it-
local shitty like what do you call them, pawn shops, because it was just hanging in a pawn shop window.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one of the legends with the soap bars instead of the PJs set up,
Oh, okay.
and I dig it. I've had mine since about the tail end of '07,
Mm.
maybe early '08, and still to this day plays like a dream.
Yeah, they're tanks.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, so you got to have that many. You got to have them. If you could be reincarnated as an animal, what animal would you choose?
Cat, sleep all day. You know,
And
live the
mess
life.
with and mess with your owners all night,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
running through the house.
Absolutely. They know how to live.
What is the country? Is it Greece, where the cats are considered citizens?
Mm. I'm not sure.
There's a country or an island out there where cats are considered citizens, and like if you don't like stop at crosswalks for them and shit, you can be ticketed.
Yeah, I'm in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that.
Um, Hell yeah. But I've got just another question for you tonight.
Sure.
Before we get to it, though, as always, links they're listed below. So give likes, shares, follows. Go do all the things, all the stuff that you're supposed to do for social media. Subscribe. Hey, there might be an episode that you like. You might find an album that you dig. Something that brightens your day up. Whatever, as long as it's adding to the positivity. Let's keep kicking ass and keep doing that, dude. Necro, who would you like to shout out today? What else would you like to promote?
Just want to say thank you. I hope that this interview doesn't tank your YouTube channel. With this
It will
question.
not. I think it'll get a lot more than you think.
Excellent. So yeah, thanks for having me. Keep the forge burning, and yeah, to all the metalheads out across the internet, check out the new album Road to Rubble. I forgot to mention this is the first Necrosexual album that's pressed to vinyl. So not only can you get it on CD or cassette, but you can get the vinyl edition as well. And yeah, I got two comic books out you can read. You can read them with both hands. Make sure the pages don't get stuck together. Do what you want with it though, and enjoy yourselves. Keep it heavy.
Dude, that would be an amazing crossover show for
Yeah.
you to have a DJ scratching the album.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that would be awesome. And I think you all could do that.
Gonna take that money. Gonna take that idea to the bank, or next time there's like a BYO vinyl night, I'll bring the album and clear the place out. But I'll enjoy it.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, you can only do what you can, right?
Yeah.
But no, seriously, thank you for doing this because, having this long since doing this since, for the last 16 or so years, it does become a labor of love at some point. And, we all get discouraged and we all think that the end is near whenever whether it be in the band or sometimes in our just daily lives, we get that existential thought. So not personally on this one, but if you were to end say after a 16-year career, what would the epitaph of Necrosexual be?
He drank a lot of boxed wine. Put it on the tombstone.
Hearing Hetfield say, "Carved upon my stone," he
Yeah.
drank a lot of boxed wine.
Yeah. No one's surprised, but everyone's disappointed.
Is there? Are you a red or a white? It doesn't matter.
Lately, I've been more on the white side of things, or rosé. You know, a little bit nice little mix, summer of
Okay.
rosé. I've had a lot of heavy metal hangovers with red.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've been switching over to white or rosé, and I visited Germany for the first time a couple of years ago. So I kind of like fell back in love with beer, which is great for my midsection as I approach middle age. So like some good German
Yep.
lagers and pilsners as well.
Hell yeah.
Less sugars.
Nothing like them. I'm a huge. I try not to because of being diabetic.
Yeah, that'll
Try
do
not
it.
to drink beer and stuff like that. But a nice Belgian double or a nice cider,
Yeah.
it's so good. But geez, do they spike the sugar?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's cider don't mess around, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So on our way out today, the music video. What is it again for
Yeah, this
everybody
is
out there?
Nocturnal Ignition, directed by, edited by me. I guess kind of directed by me, but it was also filmed by Chris Kuntz, longtime collaborator, and Liam McGlynn, another long-term collaborator. Filmed a lot of videos from the trenches over the years, and filmed in the style of In Excess, Guns in the Sky.
Hell yeah. Nocturnal Ignition. The Necrosexual metal every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
When the lights are low and the full moon starts to flow, when you're feeling the heat from the stage.
Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza DoNisi. Pizza DoNisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Alright, metalheads, time to listen. That's right. Definite Metal Stomp, Awesome Brews, Pizza Next Door, check. Metal shows, double check. That's right, Mag Bar at 1398 South 2nd Street in Louisville, Kentucky. Friends of the Metal Forge for years. Get in there, get some drinks, get some pizza, see some bands, metal every day.
In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shadebeast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shadebeast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shadebeast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Sit back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.
In a broken wasteland, I come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon my